On the bus?
Yeah.
Oh, you like that one, right? This is about the woman gets on the bus and she goes to the bus driver like this, and he goes like this, and she goes like this, and he goes like this, and she goes like this, and he goes like this, and she lifts her skirt and she gets off the bus. Well, it just happened that the supervisor of the bus company was on the bus, and he said to the bus driver, hey, you know, that's not the way you treat people. You know, you're just going to be fired. That's not nice. The bus driver said, oh, but she was deaf and dumb. She gets on the bus and she says, is the fare 5 cents? I said, no, it's 10 cents. She says, do you go straight through? He said, no, we make several stops. She said, do you go past the dairy? He said, no, we go past the ballpark. And she says, oh, shit, I'm on the wrong bus. See, I'm not drunk either.
Säg, we have told that joke.
Are you anxious? Anyway, there was a fellow, and he was kind of retarded, and he had trouble getting a job. So he sat home for several weeks looking in the paper, and one day he saw where a soap company by the name of New Blue Cheer was advertising for house-to-house salesman. So he went to apply, and he got the job, and he was so happy. So he goes and he knocks on the first door, and the one answered me. He says, I'm from New Blue Cheer, and I'm selling some New Blue Cheer. Would you like to buy something? She said, well, I really don't need any. And he said, this stuff is so good. He said, it washes everything so clean. If you have something that's real dirty, I'll wash it for you. So she said, well, I'll tell you what. My husband's socks never get clean. They're just all black. So he said, oh, good, I'll wash them for you. Wash. Blue Cheer. Rinse.
She used to be able to tell us.
Rinse in the New Blue Cheer. Run a flash your nose. Smells like a rose. Here. She said, oh, I'm so happy. Oh, they are so clean. She said, I really like that very much. And he said, well, I'll tell you what, he said, I'm not sure. I want you to be positive. So he said, have you got anything else that, you know, I can wash? Just so you're sure. And she said, well, you know, my husband's t-shirts are all gray. They're just awful looking. So I said, I'll wash them. Okay, so he goes, washing, New Blue Cheer. Rinse, and more. So,
She'll never get through the last line.
Run her past your nose, smells like a rose. Here, and he said, oh, I am so impressed. He said, I'm just all sold out. You can sell me lots. He said, well, Annie, he said, I talked to you a few times. He's got anything else, so I want you to be real sure. She said, well, I just did my washing. But she said, I have a pair of underpants on. He said, well, I'll try my head if you'll take them off and I'll wash them for you. So he turned his head and she took off her underpants and she comes out and she goes, washing, New Blue Cheer. Rinse, and the water's so clear. Run it past your nose, washing. Anyhow, that's my favorite. There was a country owl that came to visit his cousin, the city owl. And the city owl said, what do you want to do? And country owl said, see that big building over there? He said, I don't know what it is. Why don't we go and find out what it is? So they flew up there, and the hospital and the operating room was up on the top floor. And so the country owl went up and he got passed out because of the fumes. And so when the doctor went to shut the window, he saw this owl out here, and he thought, well, it'll take him in. And he'll take his tonsils out and operate on him for hemorrhoids, and then he put him out in the ledge. A week later, the country owl comes back to visit his cousin, the city owl, and the city owl said, "Hey, what happened to you last week?" He said, "You know, I didn't know what happened to you." And the country owl said, "Well, I don't know what happened. Ever since I was there last week, I can't shit with a hoot or hoot with a shit."